look at our first This Old House project to see how it has survived for the last 40 years.
Wow, 40 years, huh?
We look good.
And if you're demoing a house built in the 50s, chances are it has asbestos. What happened to all this plumbing here?
I've never seen anything like this before.
There's already rot going on in that trunk.
So what have you found up here?
Well, a bit of a surprise.
It's really the classic plumber's lament.
Nice. See this main roof form? We're just going to pull that forward so it's even where this existing deck is.
Definitely says mid-century modern.
The money's in the details.
That is beautiful. Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to This Old House, where we're about to start demo on our mid-century modern home here in Brookline, Massachusetts. Now, this house was built in the mid-50s, and it definitely needs some TLC. So we have got plans to improve its look, but also to increase its size as well. And what we'd like to do is start with some demolition, maybe take most of the house back to the studs. But that has come to a full stop because we failed a little test. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
All right, so you love this style house, you love this era, although every time you see them, you get a little concerned.
Well, I know there's going to be a problem. Houses built in this area always use asbestos somewhere.
Right.
They're either around the boiler to insulate it, even the pipes that supply the radiators had asbestos on it because it was a great insulator.
Right. And anytime we find the slightest trace of asbestos, it changes everything, right? Demolition automatically becomes more expensive, it takes longer, and not anybody can do it.
No, you have to be licensed, certified to do it because the removal process is different. The guys have to be protected with suits, respirators, gloves. We have to section off the area of the whole house. This is a private place that they have to work in. We have to use a negative air machine to get that bad air, but we want to encapsulate the fibers so that it doesn't go outside.
All right, well, we got our work cut out for us. I've actually got an appointment with Charlie outside, but I know you've got an appointment with our demolition expert inside.
Right, okay, I'll talk to you later. Hey, Ron, how are you?
Doing great, Tommy. How you doing?
Good to see you again. Now, you've helped us out a lot of projects with lead abatement, mold abatement, and now asbestos.
Right.
Now, we both know that a house of this era is going to have some asbestos in it. We're going to do a total renovation, so how do you get started?
First thing you got to do is test everything that's going to be touched by the renovation. In this case, this is a full gut.
Yep.
Everything has to be tested.
Okay, so in here...
Talking floors, basically taking a core sample, because a house of this age, you got many layers of flooring.
Mm-hmm.
This one here just had one.
Wall beside you.
The wall over here also came up clean. There's a plaster coat, so it just had a regular wallboard with plaster, no asbestos. In the closets, however, it was a different story.
Ah.
We got joint compound. You had to find a joint to see what the joint compound was, because the wallboard didn't have any, but the joint compound did.
So they tried to cheapen up the closet. That was when they started using wallboard and joint compound, and they used the wet plaster job out here.
Yeah.
Now, what about the ceiling?
Ceiling was okay.
Oh, really?
No problem with that, yeah. I would have lost that bet, but you know.
Yeah, that surprises
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So what else did you find?
We found that a lot of the flooring, a lot of the vinyl sheet goods was all asbestos. Some of the walls down in the basement, the bedrooms in the basement side were asbestos. And some of the glue, the construction adhesive on the paneling down in the basement.
Right.
Also.
Now, you got a pretty extensive system set up downstairs to protect the workers.
We do.
Well, let's see what's
show you
going on down there.
Yeah. So the guys have already started working down here as you get here. We got the negative air machine running. We've got vacuum cleaners. They're banging away, taking down the walls.
Okay.
But we came in here yesterday
Yeah.
to first set up the containment. And this is our decon chamber, a 3-stage decon chamber. It starts off over here in the clean room, where the guys put their suits on and they walk in, they get the respirators, they go through the shower and into what's called the dirty room, and then down the stairs into the work area.
I see.
And this is all under negative pressure. It's under HEPA filtered negative pressure. We got an air pump downstairs running, venting clean air outside. So if there's any breach in this containment, the asbestos dust that's going on down there already is not going to come back into the house or go outside. It gets pulled into that filter.
Okay, that's good. Do you have a way to test for that?
We do actually. Yeah, we have Darren, our hygienist here, our asbestos monitor. Right now he's doing monitoring outside and see if there's any fibers coming out. We have an air pump running over there. We've got a lab right here on site. He's reading the samples as we go to make sure there's no breaches and no issues. At the very end, he will also clear the place, which lets us take down all the containment and turn it back over to you.
Yeah. All right, so now they're tear the stuff down, what are they doing with it when after they tear it down?
Once again, in our business, it's all about the containment and keeping the dust down. They're using a lot of water, misting it all, so there's minimum dust. All that debris is just going to get shoveled up and bagged into 6 mil special asbestos bags with labels and all. And then it comes up here. They get goosenecked and closed. You squish all the air out that you can. And then you get them in here, and then they get passed out through here, put into a second bag, goosenecked and closed, pass through the shower, and out here, and then we walk them out to the truck.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a lot of work.
Sure is.
All right, so now that our material has been double bagged and washed, what do you do with it next?
We're going to bring it back to our shop, and then we have a licensed waste hauler who's going to take it to an EPA-certified landfill for asbestos. And there's going to be manifests and documentation all around, so it's all safe.
Actually, I can get my guys to start working.
We'll have it back over to you in a few days.
Fantastic. As usual, Ron, thanks for all your help.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, Tom, I'd like you to meet our new apprentices, Eric and Carly. They're going to be with
Hi.
us for the next few months.
How are you? Nice to meet you. Where are you guys from?
I just moved from Montana to Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. And you?
And I'm from Long Island.
Long Island. And what brings you to this type of work?
Well, I've done a lot of things in my young career, and I was just in a season where I'm needing to change careers, and the trades were really something that I was looking to do.
Okay.
I just love the idea of, being in this trade, especially as a woman, kind of hopefully breaking barriers and learning all I can, so.
So is this your
Starting
first
to work.
job in the construction business?
I'm a major do-it-yourselfer at home,
good.
but definitely is my first job with the professional, so.
So you're going to start at the bottom with demolition and work your way up.
Yes, sir.
That's the best way to learn. Pay attention to how you take things apart.
How about you, Eric? What's your level of skill up until now?
I've just done a little bit of a small furniture building and did a little bathroom renovation as well, but nothing that's extensive.
Well, we're going to be putting them through the ringer for the next couple of months, so we're starting with demo.
Yeah.
It's a good place to start. How far you want to go? Have you guys thought about, does it end up with a career, or are you just trying it out? Where do you hope to take it?
I definitely want to do something down this career path. I definitely think this is a career path that I'm really passionate about, so I'm excited to explore this summer.
All right. How about you, Eric?
Yeah, it's similar, but definitely don't want to be specialized right away, and so wanted to get the general experience as much as I could.
Right. Is there any line that you're looking at, like carpentry, plumbing, HVAC, painting?
I think the carpentry, the stick build, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm definitely not a painter. I get the paint on me more than I get it on the walls, so no. But definitely I like carpentry. I like walking into a job and smelling the new feel, and then
Yeah.
seeing it start from finish. Making something new. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I feel the same.
Well, you guys look good in the shirts. I tell you what, the sport and the colors right there.
Fits well.
All right. Well, we got one window out. We got another one there to go. So, Mr. Silva, can we get back to work?
Yeah, let's get back to work. Come on. Come on, move it.
Let's move this stuff on the bottom over there.
40 years ago, themselves a rundown house, and they chronicled its restoration. They called the series This Old House, and right here is that first old house. Now, Norm and Richard worked on this project 4 decades ago, and in honor of our 40th anniversary, we thought we'd come back and see how their handiwork has held up after all these years. Norm, Richard, hey there.
Hey, Kevin.
How are you guys?
Come in out of the rain.
Thank you. So, wow, 40 years, huh?
We look good.
They look good. I don't know, what was your thoughts when you first came up on this hill and saw that old house?
Well, the first time I came up here, as a carpenter, first thing I do is I look up. Because I look to see if there's sags in the roof and if there's rot on the eaves, and believe me, there was a lot of rot. But the thing that was nice is the house had a nice look to it. It had beautiful brackets on it. And we looked at that and said, boy, we got to try to do the best we can to save some of that. It was an incredible task. I mean, they were rotted terribly. The rafter ends were gone. Yeah. But in the brackets, they were in tough shape. But I managed to figure out a way to cut off a little bit so that people would really notice and put them back on. So there was a lot of good challenges.
It made a bold statement up on that big hill. And Richard, I don't know if everyone knows this, but you were there down in the basement.
That's right. What I remember about this, it was so exciting that this TV crew, Russ Morash was the genius behind it, had the idea that we would actually have contractors give away their secrets and teach this thing. And so every day we come here, at least I was just so excited to be here. I was just a 22-year-old kid. I didn't know any better.
Well, 40 years later, it's still here, and we've got to check this thing out.
You got to see it. It still looks great. Still looks great.
All right. I'm headed in. All right, well, let's take ourselves a tour. This is my first time ever setting foot in the house. Is this the first time you guys have been back?
Yes.
40 years, huh? Well, what do you think? Do you remember what it was like?
It's in great condition now, but when we started this project, there were cracks in the plaster, particularly in the ceiling. The paint was peeling off. The good news was, though, is that most of the trim on these windows is still the original trim. We just had to, do some work to bring it back. Same thing with the floors. These are the original floors.
Wow, that just says something right there. And so the production crew bought the house. Do you remember what you guys paid for it?
$17,000.
Do you remember what you put into it?
We put $35,000 into it.
$17.35. What did you sell it for?
We sold it at the public television auction for a whopping $48,000.
Ouch.
We're not developers.
No.
We're contractors.
Like 40 years is starting to sound pretty good with a start like
The
that.
dining room looks great. Wow.
Wow, it does, huh?
I remember this fireplace. This top piece had come off. It was loose, just leaning up against the wall, and this marble.
The coal that we left here 40 years ago is still there ready to go in case the heating goes out.
That was original to the house.
That's right.
And the house goes back to when?
1864.
1864. That's amazing. The bay window, look at this beauty.
Yeah, I also remember this bay window. When we walked around the outside of the house, you could see that there was a lot of water issues. All the paint had peeled off the clapboards, and that means there's water coming in somewhere. Fortunately, we didn't have any structural damage, but we did have to do a lot of work.
And how long were you guys at it?
This was pretty fast track, right? We started in the winter,
6
6 months or so.
Yeah.
And we were running to the supply company every day to get lumber because we didn't have any place to stage anything.
Good thing you did it quickly. If you did it any slower, you'd lose twice the money. So I remember watching it that the kitchen was a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
The woman who bought it from you guys at auction lived here for 35 of the last 40 years. And she didn't move out until she sort of went to elderly housing. And the new homeowners renovated the kitchen just a few years ago, but that's why it looks so nice today. It looks
A lot different.
You should have seen it when we first got here. I mean, it was not a workable kitchen at all, really. There was an opening here that went to the front hallway. Over in this corner, there was a door that went out to a mudroom that we actually removed. And then there was a bank of blue cabinets along
Greasy
this wall.
blue cabinets.
Yeah.
That all went away. The door got blocked in. The window went here, which meant the kitchen sink went here under the window.
Right. And of course, we had to do countertops, and back then in the 70s, it was all about laminate, and our choice was orange.
Or tangerine.
It was the 70s after all, right?
And then we did the newest stainless steel sink on the market back then, a stainless steel bowl with an integral drain board so the water wouldn't rust away the laminate. And now it's a beautiful farmer sink.
Yeah, so hip, right?
Yeah, we're so hip.
So now they wanted more light in here, so we decided to put in this skylight. So I framed in, cut into the framing, framed it in. This roof is slightly pitched, and we wanted it to be flat, so I went up on top of the roof, built a curb that was level, and then made a flare off of all 4 sides, and then the roofer was able to seal it up. But I can see that it's actually been replaced, the skylight itself. The framing's still here, but the skylight with those little rivets, that's part of the original skylight. They just put a new one over it. Not surprising after 40
No
years.
signs of leaks.
You know, we did a fair amount of work down in the basement. I'm dying to see how that stood up over 40 years. Norm, I don't know if you remember that winter, but it was so cold, remember?
I do.
The water main froze when we first got here, and the original cast iron steam boiler, originally coal-fired and then converted to oil, that decides to fail the first week we're here. So my father did all the on-camera work. So we came in, we tipped over this old boiler. It's covered with asbestos. Sorry, we didn't know what we didn't know back then. And we decided to get a brand new gas-fired boiler. Now, this was 75% efficient, but it was $600. That was a big deal back then.
Wow.
And it's still here.
That's it?
This is it. So
That's 40 years old.
40 circulating heat through the baseboard.
What do they cost today?
Well, that would be about $4,000 to $5,000. It'd be about 95% efficient.
Got your money's worth.
That's right. When we first got here, boy, this neighborhood was in tough shape. You know, we started fixing this up, and what we noticed is that all the other houses near us and on that street, the whole neighborhood came back.
So you guys sold it for, you said 48? Have any guess as to what it might be worth 40 years later?
a year ago, 2 houses up on the other side of the street, similar to this, sold for $659,000.
You guys were this close to being successful real estate magnates. You know, Richard, you talk about how people in this neighborhood started fixing up their homes when you guys started this one. I would say that's been going on for 40 years across the country. Since you guys have been building these houses all those years, everyone's working on their homes.
That's right.
And we're not done yet. We have a project in Brookline. Let's get back to work.
Our landscape architect did not look favorably on this line of trees here in front of the house and along this walk. And Roger, do you agree with his assessment?
I totally agree, Kevin. Take a look at this wall. The whole thing is coming out this way, and that's all caused by the tree roots pushing on the wall, and eventually it could topple over.
So this is not going to get any better.
No, not at all. And then look at these limbs. See how they're coming out from the tree looking for sunlight?
Yep.
Well, they're also going to be pushing out, and we had an awful problem with people getting hurt or injured by falling limbs. So I think we just get all these trees out of here.
All right, we're in an agreement.
Kevin, I want you to meet Michael. He's going to be in charge of taking down
Hi,
our
Kevin.
trees today.
Michael, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kevin.
So we got some things here that are in your way, right?
Yes, so we're going to be taking down this horse chestnut first. Mainly we're going to have to work around street signs, people, the wall. These wires are really close to the boom, so be careful of those.
And what do you think of our collection of trees? What's your opinion of them?
I think primarily against the wall we have a lot of invasive species like black locust, elms, sycamore, maples, things that just kind of grew there on their own, weren't really planted, and they're pushing out the wall a little bit. And then you have one horse chestnut that probably was planted, but it's in rough shape and it's going to impede with the addition that's going in.
So what's your plan of attack? I mean, I don't see a crane here today.
Yeah, so we won't be using a crane for this project mostly because it's such a busy area that we're going to take it down in a bucket truck, use small pieces so we have a lot of control. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts to this job, so we're going to use a bucket truck instead of a crane.
Let's get started. Let's do it. About that, huh? So, Michael, what do you do with all the bigger pieces that you can't chip on site?
So what we'll do, Kevin, is we'll come with a log truck and we'll lift it right over this wall, load it on the truck, and we'll take it back to the yard with us.
So, Roger, we're switching the house around a little bit. The new front door will be behind us. This is going to be the backyard. What is the plan for this wall here?
I think we still need some blockage on here, so we're going to get some trees and shrubs, screen planting along the edge.
Fill it back in with some smaller stuff.
Fill it back in, especially evergreens.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you very much. Already made a big difference, and I know we got a few more to come down, but we appreciate your guys' help.
Anytime, happy to help.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
All right, so what we have right here is the old existing foundation of the house, and we have a new foundation that's going to go against it. Now, here's a problem that these guys deal with all the time. We've got a foundation that comes in, we've got a hole at the end, we have to block it so that no concrete comes out, because when they pour the concrete here, it's going to rush out of that hole. Now, we have plenty of scrap wood around here. You can use here's a piece of 2x10, all right? How would you get that to block that hole so the concrete won't come out?
I would scribe it probably, but then how to fasten it, I'm still at a loss.
Well, scribing it, I agree with. As far as fastening it, I'll show you that. But now you're going to scribe this in, and you got to remember one thing. This is going to be concrete that we're trying to hold back. So this isn't finished trim. So a scribe doesn't have to be that exact. What I mean by that, the aggregate in the concrete, it could be 3/4 or 1/2 inch stone. That's going to fill a pretty good gap. But now I want to see you figure out how to get that in there and have this flush with the wall like that. All right?
I'll give it a shot.
All right. So you're going to eyeball it, right?
All right.
Okay. All right, now you're being way too fussy. We want this to be in here at this plane and straight across. So you see how far out that is right there? Okay, so if you measure from this point over, from this edge, measure 8 inches over at the height of the stone. So from this edge, go over 8. There you go. Okay, so now you're going to use your tape measure as a scribe. You can use a scrap piece of wood, but you have your tape measure in your hand. Lock it down, take the tape measure, and you're going to go keeping it level. You have to keep it level. And that was 1 3/4 inches roughly. Let's go 1 3/4 inches. So you take my tape measure and I keep it level. And now you're going to put a pencil line at 1 3/4 inches. Don't be fussy, just make an axe. Haven't got all day here. There you go. Now we're going to slide it up. Keep it at 1 3/4 inches. All the way up like that. Around. And in. Okay, so there's the stone. Now you look at the stone, it's on an angle. So that means we have to back cut this. Let the saw do the work. Don't force it, just let the saw do the work. Keep it tipped. Keep it tipped. There you go. Nice and easy, just push it, let the saw do the work. Alright, so let's see how that fits. Alright. Put it in there. Alright, so look at that. By taking a 2x4 and we put it right across here like this, we can screw right into the wall right here. That's good. I gotta get another one on the bottom. Right down low. Get it right down low. Yeah. Screw it right in there. So there's your lesson in rough scribing. Nice job. Well, next time, Mark McCullough's going to lower the floor in the old basement to give us more headroom. Until then, I'm Tom Silver.
I'm Carly Camatino.
And I'm Eric Ellison.
For This Old House. So what do you think, huh? Pretty good?
Next time on This Old House.
I take the apprentices to sill school. All right. Now, as you can see, this is not a 90-degree corner, so we have to cut these pieces at an angle.
We are going to make the ceiling height higher by making the basement floor lower.
In this town, if you go too far with the renovation, the building department insists on a full inspection of the existing sewer line. All right, let's see beyond that.
Oh, we've got something else here.
It looks like, is that roots?
For more of This Old House, go to pbs.org/thisoldhouse, where you can watch full episodes anytime. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This Old House magazine, companion to our television series, provides trusted information from our team of experts. You can use your credit card to subscribe for 1 year. That's 6 issues for $10. Just call 1-800-221-5900.